Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Deepak Wadhwa and in this session we are going to discuss about few important terms, or you can say very important concept of agronomy. This will be our third session of agronomy. In the previous two sessions we were studying about the classification of crops, and in this series I am teaching you agronomy. Actually this is not agronomy. I am focused on exam. This is why I marked it exam based agronomy. Yes, after covering each topic, I will show you the question which has been asked in the previous year examination, and those examinations are conducted by the central agencies only. That can be RRBSO, that can be IBPS AF4, that can be NABARD ARD. So what my point is, I'll be giving you relevant data which should be useful for your examination. Okay, so let's start with the lecture. In today's session, what we are going to study, we'll be studying about crop rotation, cropping pattern, cropping system, cropping intensity, and crop rotational intensity. I hope you guys have heard about these five concepts. These are very important concepts of agronomy, and every time we are confused among these. How we are confused? If I'll ask you what is the difference between cropping pattern and cropping system, now we are like, yeah sir, I know the definition, but I'm not sure about the difference. If I'll ask you what is the difference between crop rotation and cropping pattern, so again we have a doubt. So in this session, in next 45 to 50 minutes, I'll clear you about each term I mentioned here. And again, I have a small request with you. That small request is, if you feel like that my efforts are worth, my efforts are useful for you, so I just wanted a like from your side, and I just want your love and support in the comment section. Please write your feedback if you are enjoying my classes. So I just need a simple and in 2 to 3 lines of your feedback. I would highly appreciate it if you are writing something for me, so it will be kind of encouragement for me that if I am teaching in English, students are happy with that, I should continue the further classes. Okay, let's start with the session. So first of all, it is crop rotation. Okay, so we'll not go with the definition. Simply, what is crop rotation? So see, where are you right now? From which state you are taking my classes? Okay sir, I'm from Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, maybe Tamil Nadu, Kerala, or maybe something else. That's okay, that's fine. Just see which crop you people are growing right now in the Kharif season. Okay, fine. Then see what type of crop you used to grow in the Rabi season. So if we say about Rabi and Kharif, so I have written some major crops. It can be rice, bajra, fodder maize or soybean. It should be in the Kharif season. In case of Rabi, what we are doing? Wheat, barley, gram or mustard. Because if I'll say about the major crops in Kharif and Rabi, so this is rice, and here in the Rabi it is wheat. These are the major crops of India. But apart from these, our climate is very diverse. So we are growing so many different crops in all over the country. Now, if I'll say what is the meaning of crop rotation, so before we move to the crop rotation, we should know the term rotation. What is the meaning of rotation? Rotation means simply when we are changing something. When we are changing something, it is rotation. Like, for rotation, simply go to your cupboard. Simply go to your almirah. There are 4, 5, 7 or 10 dresses which belongs to you. So what you used to do? Okay, today I should go outside and I will wear this one. Okay, no. This is today is my college class, so I will wear very simple. Whatever you are doing, what you used to do, you are simply rotating those 5, 7 or 10 dresses every time. So this is kind of rotation. The same rotation was going on in our school, in our college, that first 3 days this teacher will come, next 3 days this teacher will come. This was also rotation. Now in case of crop, how we can rotate the crop? Okay, perfect. So how I can rotate the crop? I will say that in this Kharif season I will grow rice, in the Rabi season I will grow wheat. This is crop rotation. What I am doing, one crop is Kharif, second crop is in Rabi, that is crop rotation. Okay, another case, I will say for this Kharif season I will grow rice, and in Rabi season I will grow wheat. In Jayad I'll keep the land fallow. Fallow means I'm not growing any kind of crop, and in next season I will go with the soybean. I will go with the soybean. This will be third crop, and then after soybean I will grow gram. So now you'll see I am talking about 2 years of crop rotation. First season, second season, Third season is fallow, 1 year is complete. In second year I have done soybean in the field and then it is gram. So this is second year. Crop rotation can be of 1 year, it can be of 2 year, it can be of 3 years. But what is the meaning of crop rotation? When we are changing the crops. Sir, why are you changing the crop? Just to maintain the fertility of the soil and just to get the maximum productivity from the crop. Sir, how can we get the maximum productivity? By maintaining the fertility. Sir, how we can maintain the fertility? You can maintain the fertility by using simple principle. So like if you are growing non-leguminous crops, after non-leguminous crop you should go with the leguminous crop. Sir, why leguminous crop? Because after non-leguminous, leguminous will start fixing the environmental nitrogen into the soil. I told you about the nitrogen fixation in the previous lecture, that all the pulses crop apart from Phaseolus vulgaris, all the pulses crop used to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere into the soil. So after non-leguminous, I will go with the leguminous. If my previous crop was deep rooted, I will go with the shallow rooted. Why? Deep rooted crop has taken the nutrient from the deep part of the soil and shallow will take from the shallow depth of the soil. Right? So what we are doing, we are simply trying to maintain the fertility. If I wear this black t-shirt today, so tomorrow I will wear white one. Why? Just to maintain the quality or just to maintain the shine of my clothes. Same way, just to maintain the fertility, we are changing the crops. So now come to the last point. Last point means here you can see the rotation, crop rotation. So I told you earlier, crop rotation can be of 1 year, it can be of 2 year, it can be of 3 year. When you said, sir, what is crop rotation in your field? I said every time we used to grow rice wheat, rice wheat, rice wheat, rice wheat, rice wheat. That's what we people are doing in the Punjab, in Haryana, as well as part of Uttar Pradesh. Rice and wheat. So rice and wheat is 1 year of crop rotation. Rice and wheat is 1 year of crop rotation. Then you ask me, okay sir, anything else? I said, okay, what we are doing, we are growing groundnut in the Kharif season, wheat in the Rabi, and then next year it is sugarcane. Now groundnut will take whole Kharif season, wheat will take whole Rabi season, and the next year will go to the sugarcane cultivation, because sugarcane is not a seasonal crop, it's an annual crop. Yeah, in case of classification, we have studied something else. It was annual, biennial, perennial. I hope you can remember it. But yeah, here it will take 1 year. So this rotation, this will take 1 year, right? If I say about it, so groundnut and wheat will take 1 year, and another 1 year will took by the sugar cane. Means this crop rotation is of 2 years. And talk about the third one. Third one is paddy potato. Paddy or potato. Paddy is in Kharif, potato is in Rabi, 1 year. Then sugar cane, it is second year. In third year I grown pigeon pea, and then in wheat again 1 year. So 1 and 1, how many years? This crop rotation is of 3 years. I hope now you people are aware about the word which is known as crop rotation, that when we are changing the crop, simply go with the definition now. So crop rotation says, crop rotation is the practice of growing series of different type of crops in the same area across a sequence of growing in a season. Not in season, in seasons. So what we are growing in Kharif, in Rabi, or next Kharif or next Rabi. So this is the sequence. This is kind of, we are rotating the crop. So that rotation or that sequence of changing the crops according to the season, according to the land, according to the any other principle is known as crop rotation. I hope you are clear about this term, what is crop rotation. If you are clear, just write a Y in the chat box. If you are clear about crop rotation, write a Y in the chat box. If you are clear about the crop rotation, then we'll move to the next part, that is cropping pattern. So before I tell you cropping pattern, I would like to again talk about your shirts. You will say, sir, why are focused on clothes? Why? Because I just want to make study easier for you. I'm not that much comfortable with this language. Do you know why? Because from last 10 years, when I started my teaching career, I was teaching bilingual only. So actually I am comfortable with the language, but I don't have experience with the English medium student. So I don't know how you people are getting me. This is why initially I requested you to write your feedback, because once I'll feel comfortable with you that you are okay with this language. In Hindi I can make it very easy, but the same way I'm trying in English also. So why I used to talk about food, about clothes, about home, about your house or about your land, just to make it easy, because study is very easy when we are learning the concepts, and when we are just trying to learn the lines, okay, crop rotation, so that is difficult, right? Okay, so talk about your clothes. I hope you guys used to wear so many kind of shirt. Okay, let me show you on screen. What I want to show you on the screen. So see, this one is check shirt. Yeah, of course you know about the check shirt. Now you will say, why I'm calling this shirt as check shirt? Reason is the arrangement, the boxes you can see on this shirt made it a check shirt. Okay, just move ahead. Just check a lining shirt. Now you will see lines are there on the shirt. This is known as lining t-shirt. Not t-shirt actually, it is shirt. And if I say plain, plain means it can be of any color, but plain shirt means it is totally plain. No linings are there, no checks are there. Okay, that's perfect. Now you have seen your t-shirt or your shirts that can be plain, that can be check, or that can be lining, or that can be printed also. This was the pattern of your shirts, right? This was the pattern of your shirt. If you will go to a shop and you will ask him, bhaiya, show me some shirts, so what he will ask, what kind of pattern you want to check? So we will say, show me check shirt, show me plain shirt, show me lining shirt. So this is the pattern of shirt. And in the same way, right now about the concept, we are talking about the cropping pattern. So there we were talking about the pattern of shirt, and now it is cropping pattern. What is cropping pattern? So simply consider that this whole screen is your field. Right, this whole screen is your field. Like, this is my t-shirt. How I want the arrangement on this t-shirt will be known as the pattern. I want boxes on this, that will be check. I want lining on this, that will be lining. I want print on this, so that will be printed. So now if this is your whole field, how do you want to arrange the crop on this place? So suppose you said, sir, in Kharif we used to grow spices, so I will go with the A crop here, and here it will be B crop, and in the whole remaining part it will be C crop. Sir, this is cropping pattern, because what you have done, you have simply given the spatial arrangement. Spatial means it is related to space. You are just arranging the crops into a space. A crop has given to this much of area, B crop this much of area, and C crop has this much of area. So this is spatial arrangement. So the spatial arrangement on a piece of land or in your field is known as cropping pattern. Spatial arrangement only. Okay, let me give you an example. After that we'll read this definition. So here you can see this crop is maize and this one is paddy. Both belongs to Kharif season. So again consider this screen is your whole field, right? This screen is your field, and you said, sir, I want to use my land for one time only. One time in a year. You don't want to use it for 2 times. Why? Because the soil fertility is less. You can use it 2 times, you can use it 3 times. I'm just giving an example. If you want to use it for one time only, right? So you said, sir, I have 10 acres of land. Out of those 10 acres, sir, I will use 5 acres in the Rabi and remaining 5 acres in the Kharif. I said, okay, perfect. So you said, sir, in Kharif season, I want to go with the maize. Maize will be on 3 acres. You said, sir, maize will be on 3 acres. I said, okay, fine. Maize is on 3 acres and sir, paddy will go on 2 acres. Okay, so I will say, okay, you have used your 5 acres. The remaining 5 acres will be fallow for this period because you want to use your land for the one time only in a year. So you have used your 3 acres and 2 acres in the paddy and 3 acres in the maize, and your Kharif season is over. Now come to Rabi. So this land was used in first year. Now I don't want to use this land again. So I said, okay, in the Rabi season, what I will do, on 2 acres, I will go with the wheat, and on 3 acres, I will go with the mustard. Wheat and mustard both are Rabi crops. So now again, I have used the land. So what I did, I allocated 3 acres to maize, 2 acres to paddy, 3 acres to mustard, 2 acres to wheat. So this is spatial arrangement of the crop. If you want, what you can do this, okay, for the first year on the whole area in Kharif, in whole area maize was there, in whole area paddy was there. In the Rabi season, in the whole area mustard was there, in the whole area wheat was there. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. But the spatial arrangement of the crops, that's it. The space you are giving to the crops, because I said this is arrangement. So you don't want arrangement like this. You said, okay, I will go with this, sir. I will make the arrangement like this. That's okay. You want to give 2 acres, 3 acres, 5 acres, or maybe you will say out of 10 acres, on the all 10 acres, I will go with the paddy only. Sir, go with that. No issue. Because we are talking about the spatial arrangement only, nothing else. Whatever you want to do, but the spatial arrangement will be known as cropping pattern. Let's move with the definition. So the definition says cropping pattern means cropping pattern is defined as the space arrangement, as the spatial arrangement, spatial representation of crop rotation. See, let's study it once again. Why? Because it mentioned a word which we have studied earlier, crop rotation. Cropping pattern is nothing. It is the representation of crop rotation as a spatial arrangement. When I was teaching you crop rotation, if you ask me, okay sir, which one is your crop rotation, I will say this one is my crop rotation, this one is the crop rotation in my field. Now you ask me, sir, how much area you used to give to these crops? When you talk about the area, when you talked about the space, so that means you are asking me the pattern of my field. When you said, sir, what kind of crop you used to grow, I said in Kharif we are taking groundnut, in Rabi we are taking wheat, and next year we used to take the sugarcane. So you are talking about the cropping pattern. And when you said, sir, how much area you used to give to wheat, groundnut and sugarcane, now when you talked about the space, doesn't matter, I have 20 acres, 200 acres, 2000 acres, doesn't matter. But when you talked about the area or space, now you are trying to relate the crop rotation with the space, that is known as cropping pattern. Read it again. Cropping pattern means cropping pattern is defined as the spatial representation of the crop rotation, or as the list of crops that are being produced in an area. List of crop, like I have discussed about the maize, about paddy, mustard, wheat, or some other crops can be there in your area, but it's about space arrangement, the yearly sequence and spatial arrangement of the crops and fallow in an area. Fallow means sometime we used to kept the land as a fallow. Fallow means we are not cultivating anything there. That is known as cropping pattern. Again, I need a lovely wife from your side if you are clear about the crop rotation as well as cropping pattern. I hope you are clear now. Okay, so if you are clear, so it says cropping pattern indicate the yearly sequence. Yearly sequence, what we are growing. After paddy, it is gram, it is wheat or something else. Cropping pattern indicate the yearly sequence and space arrangement of the crop that follow in an area. So after paddy, I am growing wheat. After wheat, in next season, it is paddy, then it is wheat. It's crop rotation, and I am giving this much of space. It is cropping pattern. Clear to you? Okay, wonderful. Now move to the next part. After this, we'll discuss about the cropping system. What we are going to discuss, it is cropping system. Acha, in Hindi medium, what I used to do, I used to ask my student that if you are comfortable with me, so don't come on YouTube channel for study. Just come and talk to me. Why? Because when we talk to each other, we feel very comfortable. We are okay. If I'll say I'm coming to your place, we'll go to a hotel, we'll have lunch or dinner there, and we'll sit for 2, 3, 4 hours. You will say, okay, I'm highly comfortable. And if I'll say I'm coming to your class, we'll sit there for 2, 3 or 4 years, and I'll be teaching. You'll say, oh sir, no, 4 years, no. Why? Not 4 years actually, it's 4 hours. So why? Because when we consider it study, it is difficult for us, and when we consider discussion, it is easy for us. This is why we used to spend long hours with our friend in the garden area. If you have opposite gender friend, then there is no limit of time. You are sitting there for 4, 5, 6, 7, even hunger, thirst, nothing is coming into our mind. If she is sitting there, I'm totally happy. Okay, this garden, this is now like heaven of the earth. I will remain sitting here. Why? Because I'm talking to her. So it was just an example. So when you will start talking to me, you will feel comfortable. How you can talk to me? You are taking classes in recorded mode, sir. I cannot talk to you. Of course you can talk to me. Yeah. On my previous example, you were just smiling when I said you are sitting with an opposite gender, and you were trying to imagine, हाँ sir, वो भी क्या दिन थे, है ना? When I used to sit in the college, now I'm worried about AFO, sir, what will happen? I'm getting depressed nowadays, है ना? So try to talk to me. The expression which you are changing right now on your face, yeah, this is the sense of talking. This is two-way communication. Okay. Let's move to the third part. We have discussed about crop rotation, cropping pattern. Now the third part is cropping system. It's very easy. Sir, how it is easy? Because it has a word which make it easy. It's a system. It's a system, right? When we talk about the system, system is comparatively a larger word. Rotation, pattern, it was smaller word, but system is very large. When you will say, sir, you used to record the video in the night and then editing has been done and then we are watching the video daily on the YouTube, sir, you have a very good system, right? So what you said, system. When we talk about our education, so many people graduated from India are working as a doctor, are working as an engineer in outside the India. So that means our education system is really good. What I said, education system. If you will see, we are a country of 140 crores people and all the politicians are handling it very good. So what you will say, sir, our political system is very good. That's okay. If you are smiling on this example, that's, yeah, political system is very good. Yes, of course, it is good. So when we say about the system, so system is a large word. It political system, it education system, is system of road, it can be system of something else, but system is a larger word. So how it is larger, sir? Okay. When we were talking about the cropping pattern, so while discussing about the cropping pattern, I said simply relate the cropping pattern with the rotation. So when we give the spatial arrangement to the crop rotation, it became cropping pattern. Now what you do? Now in cropping pattern, you will have to use so many resources. So when I said I am growing mustard, I'm growing wheat, it is made, it paddy or some other crops are getting grown in your area. So what you people can say, sir, we have so many resources, what we are using to produce those cropping pattern. Yes, what kind of resource you have? Sir, we have land, we have weed management, we are providing irrigation, we are providing sunlight, temperature. Yes, that resources. When we relate any cropping pattern with the resources, it is known as cropping system. As I told you, system is a comparatively bigger word, right? System is a bigger word. So when we relate the cropping pattern with the available resources, cropping pattern with the available resources, it is known as cropping pattern. Sorry, it is system, है ना? So when we relate all the available resources with the cropping pattern, it is known as cropping system. Or simply you can say, because resource is also the part of management, because when I am growing any kind of crop, I am giving irrigation, I am giving soil, I am giving fertilizer, weed management, everything is a part of management. So we can say cropping system is cropping pattern plus resources, or we can say cropping system is cropping pattern plus management. So in definition, in words, we can say cropping system means the relation of a specific cropping pattern. Whom relation? Cropping patterns relation. Cropping system means the relation of a specific crop pattern. That specific crop pattern can be anything, right? That relation of a specific cropping pattern with all available farm resources like land, water and environment, etc., and their combination comes out to be a system. Combination of whom? Combination of cropping pattern along with the resources is known as system. I hope now you are clear about all three terms. If you are still in doubt, so simply say, here you can see, if I will say this one is one crop, this is second crop, and these both are third crop, and this is your field. So you will say, sir, I have given 5 acres to this area, I have given 3 acres to this area, 2 acres to this crop. Okay, sir, you are talking about the space arrangement. Sir, this is cropping pattern. Yes, right. When I'm talking about the space arrangement, it is cropping pattern. Perfectly right. But I will say, to this cropping pattern, I am providing rainfall or irrigation, I am providing temperature, climate, weather or anything else, and I am providing soil, fertilizer, manure. Okay, sir, now you are trying to relate the cropping pattern with the resources. Sir, it is known as system. Yes, perfectly right. It is known as cropping system. I hope now you are clear about this. So there are type of cropping system. I will explain it further. But before that, you should clear in your mind what is crop rotation, what is cropping pattern, and what is crop rotation, cropping system. Clear? Crop rotation, cropping pattern, cropping system. That's it. Now talk about the types of cropping system. I will be explaining all these in further classes, because if I say about the multiple cropping, there are types of multiple cropping. There are types of sequential cropping. There are types of intercropping. So this will again take 1 hour. This will again take 1 lecture. So I will explain it in further classes, but I will give you a brief introduction of all these. When we say about the monocrop, you guys are from English medium and definitely you know the meaning of mono means it is one. When you are growing only one crop, when you are growing only one crop in a year, it is known as monocrop. Monocrop means one crop in a year. That's it. So if you are growing only one crop in a year, it is known as monocropping. Sir, why a farmer will grow one crop in a year? They can have their personal preferences, they can have their specialization in that crop, or they can have limitation of the resources. When I don't have rainfall, I don't have irrigation in the Rabi season, so I will just skip it. In the Kharif season in North India, we people used to receive the rainfall from the southwest monsoon, so you will see the data every year. In the Kharif season, cultivated area is comparatively more than the Rabi. Why? Because in the Rabi people are not receiving any kind of rainfall, but in case of Kharif people have rainfall. This is why what they are doing, they are cultivating more land in the Kharif season. So the reason can be anything. I will be explaining in the further lecture, but yes, when you are growing one crop in 1 year, it is known as monocropping. When you are growing more than one crop in a year, it is known as multiple cropping. When you are growing crops by sequence, after harvest of one crop, immediately after the harvesting of one crop, second crop has been sown. Sir, immediately means what? If I have harvested in the morning, so we'll cultivate in the evening? No. We'll try to minimize the space between two crops. So if I have harvested one crop right now, and the cultivation of next crop will be done after 1 month, so I will not take the gap of 1 month. I'll try to make it 15 days, 10 days or 5 days, whatever which is possible, right? So sequential cropping means when we are growing one by one in the sequence. There are three types of sequential cropping. It can be double crop when we grow 2 crops in a year, it can be triple cropping when we grow 3 crops in a year, and it can be quadruple cropping when we grow 4 crops in a year in sequence. Intercropping means when we are growing 2 or more than 2 crops, 2 or more than 2 crops in a area at the same time. Area is same, time is same. If you have suppose if you are in a field right now and you have seen in the row to row distance, second crop is also there. Main crop is in the rows, and in row to row distance, second crop is also there. That second crop is known as intercrop. And right now 2 crops are there simultaneously on the same field on the same time. It is known as intercropping. Relay cropping is something advanced. Relay is also known as overlapping cropping. Why relay is known as overlapping? Because in case of relay, before the harvest of previous crop, we used to sow the next crop. Harvesting is not done, because what we used to see, usually we see that harvesting of the Kharif crop has been done after 15, 20 or 30 days. Sowing of the next crop will be done. But before the harvesting of the preceding crop, before the harvest of the previous crop, the sowing of the next crop has been done. It is known as relay or overlapping cropping. I will explain in the next lecture. I will give an example that in part of Bihar, in part of Madhya Pradesh, in part of Odisha, these kind of practices are getting done nowadays. I will be giving an example what they used to do, what kind of crop they are growing, and before the harvest of the paddy, they used to grow the next crop. I will give an example. Next one is ratoon cropping. Obviously everyone know about the ratoon crop, because you guys are from tropical climate. In tropical climate you are growing sugarcane, because sugarcane favors tropical climate. So in case of sugarcane, when we harvest the sugarcane after a year, in the next season we are not putting the sets. Sets means it's a sowing material in case of sugarcane. Like in paddy we use transplanting. In case of wheat you use sowing. In sowing there are seed. In case of transplanting there are seedlings, and in case of sugarcane it is sets. So for first year we used to put the sets into the soil. You don't know about the sets? Don't worry. Simply search on the Google sets of sugarcane. I will also show you in the further lecture, because I believe when you visualize the thing, it is very easy for you to memorize. So whenever you are facing any kind of doubt, sir, maize, what kind of crop it is, so search it on Google, show the images, don't study, because black and white is not useful. Data is something which is written in the black and white. Show colored thing which makes our mind very easy, so we used to relate with them. So if you are not clear, you can search for the sets of sugarcane. But as I said, for the first year I use sets of sugarcane, but after the harvesting of the crop, what I will do, I will simply grow the second crop from the remaining part of the sugarcane, from the remaining or from the residue of the sugarcane, that is known as ratooning, or it is known as ratoon cropping. See, this was not the part of my lecture, but these are the type of cropping system. This is why I gave you the brief introduction. Basically, my part of this lecture is crop rotation, cropping system, cropping pattern, and cropping intensity or crop rotational intensity. So I will discuss about these in further discussions. Now move to the cropping intensity. We'll be discussing about the cropping intensity. But before I go with the cropping intensity, I'll have to tell you two terms. One is GCA, that is gross cropped area. And next one is NSA, means net sown area. Gross cropped area and net sown area. Actually, these terms are very easy. Sir, how it is easy? See, suppose this one is your field. Perfect. So what is the area of this field? You can take any size. Okay. So let's say it is 10 acres. When you have 10 acres of land, so in a season, if I'll say maximum, if your 10 acres are available for the sowing or available for the transplanting purpose, and I will say in one season maximum land which can be cultivated from your side, what will be the answer? You will say, sir, 10 acres. I can grow on 6 acres, 7, 8, 9 or 10, but you cannot go beyond 10. Why? Because you have the ownership of the 10 acres only, right? So you have net sown area of 10 acres. You have, because your if you will say, sir, I have road in my field, I have made a building, so okay, take 1 acres outside from the 10 acres, so you have 9 acres of land. But right now I'm not talking about the road, or I'm not talking about the building. I simply said I have availability of the 10 acres where I can cultivate the crop. So you will say, okay, sir, you have net sown area of 10 acres. You are clear about the net sown area which is available for the cultivation. It is known as net sown area. Now what is gross cropped area? Guys, when we are talking about the gross cropped area means I have 3 seasons. I have 3 seasons in this. When I am growing the crops, I have Kharif season, then I have Rabi season, and then I have Jayad season. I have Kharif, Rabi as well as Jayad. When we say about Kharif, Rabi and Jayad, this is very easy now. How it is easy? Suppose in Kharif I have cultivated 8 acres. In Rabi I have cultivated 7 acres. Jayad is not that much important season, so I just cultivated a few vegetables in Jayad season only on 2 acres. So now if you'll see, in 1 year I cultivated on 8, 8 plus 7, 15, 15 plus 7, 15 plus 2 is 17. So I have cultivated on 17 acres, so that 17 acres is my gross cropped area. So you counted it 3 times. Yes, gross cropped area means you can count it as many times as you cultivate the soil. It can be 1 time, it can be 2 time, it can be 3 time, or maybe it can be 4 time. Actually 4 time is very rare, but yes, as many times as you are cultivating a crop, you can count it. But in case of net sown area, it will be counted once only. So study the definition, read the definition. Gross cropped area is the total area sown once or multiple times in a given year. The gross cropped area is the total area sown once or multiple times in a year. And in case of net sown area is, on the other hand, is the area sown with the crops but counted only once. Yes, it is counted only once. I hope now you are clear about net and gross sown area. Just write a lovely Y in the chat section if you are clear about it. Not lovely Y, only Y. Just write only Y in the chat section if you are clear about gross and net sown area. Some people will say, sir, this is recorded class. Why are you asking us to write? Why? Because when you guys will be listening these recorded classes, I'll also the part of these classes, I'll watching you. I want to observe you, that what kind of expression, what kind of behavior, what kind of comments you are writing now. So I'll be understanding, I'll be giving the instruction or input to myself that these kind of changes you should do in your next class. So it is compulsory for you to give your feedback, to write your feedback in the comment section and write why right now. Okay, you are clear about the gross and net sown area. So talk about the cropping intensity. If we talk about the cropping intensity, again this is very simple concept. You will say, sir, everything is simple. Yes, when you are in Agri Coaching Chandigarh, everything is simple, don't worry. So when we talk about the cropping intensity, guys, what is cropping intensity? Cropping intensity has a simple formula. When you are cultivating more area, the cropping intensity will be increased. Sir, how we can cultivate more area? You can cultivate more area by using more resources. So if you have more irrigation, if you have availability of hybrid seed, fertilizer, pesticide, you can cultivate more area. Like if I'll say highest cropping intensity is in which state? Can you tell me which state has the highest cropping intensity in India? Yes, you are right. So highest cropping intensity is in Punjab. Punjab has almost 192 to 196. It's nearby 200. 200% of cropping intensity, while the national average stands at 142. This 142 can be changed till your examination. So I will update this in your current affair classes. But yeah, right now it is 142%. So national average is 142%. Punjab is around 200%. So what Punjab have? Punjab has facility of irrigation. Punjab has availability of the resources. This is why they are cultivating more area. When you are cultivating more area, your cropping intensity will be increased. For example, if you have 10 acres of land and I also have 10 acres of land, I am from Rajasthan. Yeah, right now I'm located in Punjab, but yeah, basically I'm from Rajasthan. And suppose if you are from talk about Punjab. Why? Because in Punjab sufficient resources are there. So because of lack of resources, what I used to do, I used to cultivate 8 acres in Kharif season, only 3 acres in Rabi, and Jaid is kept fallow. In case of Punjab, you have sufficient resources. You cultivated 10 in Rabi and 10 in Kharif and 10 in Rabi. So you cultivated total of 20 acres in a year, and I have cultivated total of 11 acres in a year. So which state or which field will have more cropping intensity? Obviously, which is cultivating more area will have more cropping intensity. Sir, how we used to calculate it? Okay, just come to the point here. Simply calculation is very easy because this has a formula. Gross cropped area divided by net sown area into 100. That's it, nothing else. Gross cropped area divided by net sown area into 100. But yeah, gross cropped area means area under Kharif, area under Rabi, area under Jaid. Whatever the area you have cultivated, that will be divided by the area under actual cultivation or net sown area into 100. So now simply I will give an example of this so that you can understand it very well. And again, let me tell you, this is very, very, very easy concept. It says if a farmer owns 5 acres of land and he took 2 crops per year. If someone has 5 acres of land, that means that 5 acres is his net sown area. 5 acres is net sown area, and as per the formula into 100 should be there. Now what I need GCA. How much gross cropped area is there? So he says he takes 2 crops per year, 1 Kharif and 1 Rabi. He get net effective produce from 10 acres because he cultivated 5 acres in Kharif and 5 in Rabi. So he get produce from the 10 acres. What will be the cropping intensity of this farm? So I got the question, I got the data. So his total or gross cropped area is 10 acres. Gross cropped area is 10 acres. Net area is 5 acres. Now it's nothing, of course, you know. So it will be 2 multiplied by 100. So the cropping intensity of this farm will be 200%. Cropping intensity of this farm will be 200%. Okay, so if you are clear about the concept, I would like to give you another example. So you can here pause the video, just pause the video here and tell me the right answer. What will be the right answer of this? Write in the comment section. You can pause the video here. Okay, I cannot wait that much because it's very easy concept. So why to take time on this here? Simply it says if a farmer owns 10 acres of land and he takes 7 acres of rice crop and 2 acres of fodder maize. So first of all, he has 10 acres of land, right? He has 10 acres of land into 100. Now I need to calculate gross cropped area. So he said he takes 7 acres of rice. Okay, so it is talking about the Kharif season. In Kharif he said 7 acres of rice, right? And then 2 acres of fodder maize in Kharif. In Kharif only he cultivated fodder maize on 2, or you can say maize, not even fodder maize, you can say maize, that's okay. So 7 plus 2 fodder maize in the Kharif, and 8 acres of wheat in the Rabi season. In Rabi he cultivated wheat on how many acres? 8 acres. What will be the cropping intensity of his farm? What will be the cropping intensity of his farm? So GCA will be 7 to 9, 9 or 8 is 17. So I got the data. Now instead of GCA I will write 17. So now you are clear about this. So it will be 170% cropping intensity of this farm. Again, I need a wonderful why in the chat section if you are clear about the concept that sir it was really easy. Now I am clear about the crop rotation, cropping pattern, cropping system and cropping intensity. So let's talk about the last term which is also important, crop rotation intensity. Okay, before I proceed to the crop rotation intensity, I would like to give you an assignment. First of all, I said I need your wonderful feedback in the comment section, and in the comment section I don't need my appreciation. Don't appreciate me if I am teaching good, but give me the suggestion, give me the negative point which you are facing in the session. Sir, I was not able to understand, your language is not good, you are not speaking too much, whatever the problems you are facing, you can also write, and if seems good to you, you can give me the compliment. Now the second assignment you have for the comment section, you need to calculate the cropping intensity of your farm. Of your farm means just ask your father, even you know if you are a farmer, if your family is a farming background, you know how much land you have. So you need to frame a question like this, that my father has dash acres of land, we cultivate how many acres of crop in Kharif and how many acres of crop in Rabi. What will be the cropping intensity of my farm? Write this question in the comment section. In the comment section, when you will write this question, people will start replying you by the answer. So by getting answer of your comments, and by writing everyone, when everyone will write their own comments, so what will happen? You will be having so many example of the cropping intensity, and this whole example will come from all over India, because this is Agri Coaching Chandigarh. We are located in all over India. So this will increase your efficiency. It's not about cropping intensity, because when people will write I'm growing this crop in Kharif, in Rabi, this in Rabi, so you will come to know that what kind of crops are getting grown in Kharif and what kind of crops are getting grown in Rabi season. I hope you are clear about this, because we used to see so many reels, we are writing so many comments over there, lovely, wonderful, I'm happy, nice, and so we are just wasting our time. But this is something which will use your time, which will increase the productivity of your time. So write in the comment section about your farm. When everyone will write, you will come to know that in which state what people are doing in Kharif and what in Rabi. So this part is over. Let's move to the last part. It is about crop rotation intensity. It is about crop rotation intensity. So when we say about the crop rotation intensity, again it has a formula. Like in cropping intensity, we said gross cropped area divided by net sown area into 100. Now in case of crop rotation intensity, the formula is little bit different. It is number of crop in the crop rotation. In what? In crop rotation. I hope you guys can remember, I have shown you crop rotation of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So number of crop in the crop rotation, then number of year in the crop rotation, how many year it is taken in 200. So like if I say crop rotation for 1 year, for 1 year it is rice and pea, 2 crops are there, it has taken 1 year in 200. Like the formula says, number of crop in crop rotation, rice and pea, 2 crops are there, divided by number of year, 1 year has been taken in 200. So 2 by 1 in 200, what will be the answer? 200 will be the answer. Now if I'll say crop rotation for the 2 years, groundnut, wheat and sugarcane. So groundnut, wheat and sugarcane, 3 crops are there, they have taken 2 years. So if I calculate the value of 3 by 2, it's simple, it will be 150%. I hope you know this calculation. Right? So it is 150%. Now we have taken a few examples in the crop rotation section. So let's come to those crop rotation and tell me what will be the crop rotation intensity of rice, wheat based crop rotation. Tell me what will be the cropping intensity of this. Yes, of course you are right. Rice, wheat means 2 crop 1 year in 200. So it will be 200%. Okay, your answer is right. Now tell me the crop rotation intensity of groundnut, wheat and sugarcane. Do it fast. Groundnut, wheat and sugarcane. What will be the cropping intensity? Sir, it's very simple. This will take 1 year and this will take another 1 year. 3 crops are there in 2 years into 100. So this will be, sir, 150%. Of course, you are right. This will be 150%. Okay, now tell me the answer of third one. Paddy, potato, sugarcane, pigeon pea and wheat. What will be the answer? Do it fast. I want answer from your side. Paddy, potato, sugarcane, pigeon pea and wheat. You got the answer? Right. So what will be the answer? Answer will be this will take potato and paddy 1 year. Sugarcane will take another 1 year. Pigeon pea and wheat will take another 1 year. So means total 3 years are there. How many crops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 crops in 3 years into 100. Now if I'll divide 3 by 100, it will become 33.33. If I'll multiply with this in 5, it will be 166.66. So here the answer will be 166.66%. I hope you are clear about the crop rotation intensity as well. So I told you about the cropping intensity, about the crop rotation intensity. Now let's come to the last part. I told you I will not teach you agronomy. This will be exam based agronomy. Now I'll show you the 4 questions which has asked in the previous examination. 4 questions are there, because for your practice what I will do with the every lectures, what I am doing with the every lectures, after attending every lecture, simply go to my Telegram channel, that is Agri Coaching Chandigarh. See, when I am teaching in the class, so I don't care it is free class or it is paid class. I simply care about the student, because if I am something at this time, it is just because of support of people like you. So I will not say go with my course or anything else. Yes, if you are very serious aspirant and if you have a good base in the graduation, you can qualify the exam with the self-study also. But once you want to once you qualify the exam, that means you are having a strategy, you are having hard work, you are having smart work, you are having a planned or phased manner study. Right? So this is why after the end of every lecture, I am showing you these questions just to give you the idea what type of question they are asking in the exam. And after that, on my Telegram channel, I will give you 30 questions after every lecture. 10 questions will be based on the images. Why images? I want you people to visualize everything. Once you visualize, you can remember it very easily. And after those 10 questions, I will give you 20 questions with 5 options with a larger or comparatively bigger language. Why? Because IBPS is not asking 1 or 2 liner question. They used to ask 2, 3 or 4 liner question. So language will be little bit complicated, difficult, because this is the exam pattern. So I'll see you tonight at 9 p.m. with your Telegram quiz. But before that, I'll show you those 4 questions which has been asked in the examination. First question is, which of the following is true, not true for the mixed cropping? Mixed cropping also, it is a part of system, and as I told you, I will explain in the further lecture, but this was the topic. They have asked the question. Mixed cropping means when we mix the seed. So like mustard and with the mustard, barseem. Barseem is fodder crop. When I want fodder from the barseem or from the mustard, so what I did, I mixed barseem and mustard seed and done the sowing through the broadcasting method. So this will be known as mixed cropping. So it says in mixed cropping, seeds are mixed before sowing. This is correct statement. Same fertilizer and insecticide for the mixed crop. Of course, this is right. All crops have same life duration and harvested at the same time. You will have to think about it. Mixed cropping reduces the risk of crop failure and provide insurance. Of course, because if one crop will fail due to the attack of one pest, so we have the backup of second crop. Or answer will be none of these. Tell me what will be the right answer of this. A, B, C, D, or E. Write it fast. And again, this question was asked in the NABARD 2021 examination. Okay, of course you are right. First, second and fourth statement is correct, and this one is incorrect. Because if we talk about that life duration, so of course barseem and mustard have a different life duration. But yeah, this statement is comparatively right. They will be harvested at the same time. So this question was this statement having question marks. So we are in doubt. So of course this one is wrong. Second statement or second question which was asked in NABARD ARD 2022, growing 2 or more crops simultaneously with their seed are mixed and broadcasted on the piece of land. We mix the seed, broadcasted the piece of land. We just discussed this. It is known as mixed cropping. It is known as mixed cropping. It was very simple, asked in NABARD examination. Next one is, The growing crop in the sequence year after year on the same land, one crop being sown only after the harvest of other, have crop intensification in only time dimension. One crop, then another, then after one, then immediately next one, next one. We are trying to reduce the time gap. Why we are reducing the time gap? Because we want intensification. Intensification means we want more cropping intensity by reducing the time, between the two crops. So what will be known as, it is multi-story cropping. Of course it cannot be multi-story. It is ratoon, it is in sugarcane. Relay means before harvesting the sowing of next. It can be none of these, so only we are left with the one answer. It will be sequential cropping. And the last question, which was again asked in NABARD 22 examination, this method of farming which involve cultivating a field portion into long narrow strips which are alternate in crop rotation system, it is used when a step is too steep. Steep means it is deep. When there is no alternative method of preventing soil erosion. Simply, this is done in the slopy land. This is done in the area where land is not equal. It is slopy means it can be hilly area or something else, but slope is there. So if slope is there, so you cannot go with the relay cropping or serial cropping, because there is no relation of cereals and relay with this statement. Cover can be there, mulch can be there, but cover and mulch can be there on the plain ground also. But when it is talking about the steep slope, that means it is talking about the hilly area or area which doesn't have plain surface. So in hilly or a plain area, what we used to do, we have strip cropping, we have terrace cropping. So I will teach you about terrace or strip, what is it. But right now, as per the option, I'll have to go with the first answer. It is strip cropping. So we haven't discussed about it because again this will be explained in the further lecture. But as I told you, I will show you what type of question they are asking in the examination. I hope now you are clear. So if you are clear, get ready for the practice question tonight at 9 p.m. and don't forget to write your feedback so that I can make myself better for your selection in the next lecture. And of course, don't forget to click on the like button if my video was useful for you and if I was able to understand you. So click on the like button and always keep smiling. Why? Because it's exam time. In exam time, we will feel pressure. When we are positive, when we are energetic, when we have a smile on our face, we feel very positive. And when we are in the dark room, sitting in the front of books, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, what will happen to me in the 1st April or what will happen to me next year? So we are just giving a negative thought to ourselves. So surround yourself with the positive people, surround yourself with a positive mindset, and you will see that you are an officer in next 6 months. I will see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a great time. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.